Hello internet, welcome back to the orange side of TikTok. I'm Amber and today I'm going to take you through what you'll typically find marshals wearing at a racetrack. Now it varies depending on what discipline you're in, so the ones I can talk about is the discipline of race, but also depends on what country you're in and what event you're doing. So take what I'm going to say with a pinch of salt. So let's get started. So the first and probably the most important thing you'll find, at least with circuit/race marshals wearing, is their fireproof suit. We need to wear this simply because, as I said, it is fireproof. It is also orange. That is the colour that typically you will find at least British marshals wearing. I know that some marshals over in the US will wear white, but typically British marshals, at the very least, will wear orange, unless they're Silverstone Marshal, and then the Silverstone Marshals wear black for some reason. Or if you're at Goodwood. If you're a Goodwood Marshal or marshalling Goodwood Festival Speed or Revival, etc., you do have the option to wear your orange overalls, but typically Goodwood will actually ask you to wear white. Kind of similar to what American marshals will wear. But this is probably the most important thing you will find. As you'll see, mine has been worn, very well worn. And as everyone says, you're not a true marshal unless you've got black marks on your arse. Now, I got mine from Little Racewear, but you can, because this one is custom made to fit me, you can get them online for less, and buy them online, non-custom made. You can get them from Lily, you can get them from AWS, you can get them from a whole host of places. You can also get them from the BMMC, the British Motorsport Marshals Club, but they come with a lot more branding. But yeah, I got mine from Lil. My partner got his from AWS, but I know a couple of people did get theirs partially from the British Motorsport Marshals Club. But yes, suit, fireproof suit, fire retardant suit. I would probably die without this, or be severely burnt. The next thing you'll find a lot of marshals wearing are these steel toe boots. These are obviously not mine, they are my partner's. Just again, safety. You don't want to drop a fire extinguisher on your toes. It hurts. But on the same effect, you also don't want a car to run over your toes. Because we all know it does happen. So these aren't supplied to you, you do have to buy them yourself, but there's so many different places you can get them from. Both myself and my partner have Dunlops, but I know other people will go for other brands, but they are our preferred, mainly because we can get them. They're accessible for us. We can go down to our local Sports Direct and buy a pair. So it's just what's easiest for us. This next thing is very event specific. I've only actually seen 2 events where you do need to wear these, but it is your track tabard. Obviously this one is Formula E's from last year. God knows where my one from this year is. But the only 2 events I've seen where you have to wear this is Formula E and Formula 1. Basically just lets everyone know who you are, or that, not who you are, but that you're supposed to be. So you're supposed to be able to get access to the track, you're supposed to be on post. And you'll see with Formula 1, you'll see that media sometimes wear them, you'll see photographers wear them. It's basically just to let them know that you are supposed to be there. And the Formula E ones don't have this, but the Formula 1 tabards do have like a little number, I think, just somewhere here, that is registered to you as a marshal, as a photographer, as whoever needs to wear one, so that I don't know much about it. I've never done Formula 1, but all I know is you do, on your tabard, it will have a number and it's registered to you. But I don't know, I've never done Formula 1. Hopefully that's changing next year and I'll be able to tell you more about it. On a similar vein, you've got your event accreditation. Now this one, again, I've only ever seen it at Formula E. I'm not going to show you the back of this, but again, there's a little QR code on the back of this that you can, at least at Formula E, you can scan. Anyone can scan and let them know that yes, you are allowed to be where you are. Again, it's just making sure you're safe and also ensuring that you are the person you say you are. Because without this, without your track accreditation, at least with Formula E, you are not getting anywhere near the building. You're getting absolutely nowhere near the building without either your accreditation or a ticket to say that you are allowed in. And even with your ticket, you'd just be a spectator. This tells people that, yeah, I'm allowed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. With Formula 1, I think definitely down at Silverstone, it is very similar, but it's effectively just a little wristband. Obviously this is a Formula E one, but it's just a little wristband saying, you know, track access at all times, as well as the track tabard. Something else you will find most marshals wearing is a whistle. Now, it seems really redundant when you think about it, especially with car engines. You're not going to hear a whistle over it. But the reason we carry around a whistle is if we're during a safety car, red flag period, or just in between races, and we're out on the track sweeping, helping with a recovery of a vehicle, or basically we're on the track for whatever reason, someone, typically the flag marshal, will stay on post and will watch to see if there's any oncoming traffic. So especially when it comes to the likes of safety cars, we need someone to look out to know where that safety car train is, so that if we're in the middle of the track, we can move out to safety. So we listen for the whistle, and immediately the first thing we do is we look down the track, see if there's anything coming. If there's nothing, then we look towards where the whistle comes from, which I couldn't get my head around at first, is because you're automatically, when you hear a whistle, you automatically want to look where the sound comes from, but no. Took my head a while to get around. The next and probably final thing is your accreditation from your licensing, from your ASN, I don't know what it's called. Basically, it's your license saying, at least with marshals, it's saying that you are who you are a registered marshal, accredited, and if applicable, what grade you are. So I am race grade 1, so as you can see, mine says race grade 1, but you could also be race grade 2, race grade 3, post chief, etc, etc. So this is also a good form of, if you aren't entirely sure if a person is a marshal, then you can just ask them for their, in this case is a Motorsport UK ID, and they have to show you it they have to not legally have to show you it to prove they are who they say they are. Also, if you are just visiting your local track for a day and you want to go into the marshal's hut, into restricted areas, you need to have this because it proves once again that you are allowed to be there. You've done the relevant training, you're covered by the relevant insurance. So that is my rough breakdown of what you'll find a marshal wearing. Other things I didn't include is like a little hat, gloves, things like that. But that is typically what you'll find marshals wearing. As I said, there may be regional country differences, but that's typically what I've seen. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you at some point. God knows when, but I will see you all later. And preferably up the hill as well.